Hi there, Terry back again on Deadman, the comic cover show. Yes, I've changed the title. I thought it was pretty apt being as I showed comic covers, and hopefully that's okay with everyone. If not, or if you like it, if you could comment in the comments, that'd be great, and if you could like and subscribe, that'd be even better. I also need to apologise for the last video I did. The sound quality wasn't very good. Fortunately, I didn't realise this until after I downloaded it. But this sound should be fine on this one. Another thing I've been asked is to make my videos shorter. So, as of this video, I'm going to put the years in two parts. Unless they are short, then I'll leave it in one. But this one will obviously be for her first half of 1960, and it will begin with Superman, January cover date, number 134. It's called The Super Outlaw of Krypton, and so we can get that nicely seen with all the flashing lights in it. And it was written by Otto Binder, the art was by Wayne Boring and Stan Kay, cover art was Kurt Swan, and it was the first appearance of Cullex. I'm assuming it's the blonde guy. It was his first appearance, but it was also his last. Then we have Action Comics number 260, again January cover date, and as you can see on this one, if I show you properly, you can see the 9D that's on there. That was done by a company called Thorpe and Porter, who used to import all of the American comics into the UK. 9D was our old money. They didn't change over until 1971 to the new pence that we have. But in them days, there was 240 pennies in a pound, so it means you could buy 26 of these for a pound. But a pound in 1960 was quite a lot, so I don't expect people were buying 26 comic books. The title of this cover, as you can see, was Mighty Maid. I think it should have been called Kissing Cousins, so you may guess who Mighty Maid is. Then we get Superman number 135, February cover date, and that is by Kurt Swan. And we've got over there and into there, that's brilliant. There, see that nice and clearly, hopefully. All three stories were written by Jerry Siegel, and the second story was Superman's a Mermaid Sweetheart. So that was the first full appearance of Lori Laramis, the mermaid, I should say, not the super mermaid. Also, another first appearance there was a character called Ronal, who became eventually Lori's wife, a husband even. Then we have Action Comics February number 261. In this issue is the last Con-Gorilla story. He started appearing after this in Adventure Comics with issue number 270, which was a March 1960 cover date. In this also is a first appearance in the Supergirl story of Streaky the Super Cat. Supergirl was doing some experiments with some kryptonite, trying to find how to nullify it, for want of a better way of putting it. She wasn't very successful, or successful at all, to be honest, and she threw it all out the window, or some such as I can't quite remember the story now, but anyway, she got rid of it. But one piece she didn't get rid of, and this she managed to turn into X-Kryptonite without knowing. As I said, X-Kryptonite as they called it. And that particular bit of kryptonite gave Streaky his powers, but his powers waned, so he had to come in contact with his kryptonite every time. And of course, being a cat, he wouldn't have realised that, so they obviously had to make up some really weird ways with the stories to get him to come in contact with this X-Kryptonite every time. Then we have Action Comics number 262, which was a March cover date. This one, Kurt Swan, Stan Kay and Irish Snap. And then this one here The first story, actually, this was the third appearance of Supergirl on the cover, or the fourth if you're counting issue 260. And the first story introduced the idea of Kryptonians powered by yellow sunlight. It was introduced to explain why the people of Argo City did not gain powers after leaving Krypton. And also, this is the first issue of Action Comics that only had 2 stories in it. Superman number 136. And like, if you disagree with anything I've said so far, if you'd like to leave it in the comments and correct me, that'd be great. Or agree with me, I don't mind, but comments would be lovely. And as I said, if you can like and subscribe, that'd be absolutely great. But we have now Superman April issue, April cover date, number 136. Kurt Swan art. I'm getting used to this now, I'm actually finding the camera. It's a little tiny dot above my head, so that's why sometimes I can't get it focused properly. Hopefully you can see that one. The cover story was by Robert Bernstein, the art was by Wayne Borin and Stan Kay. The only thing of reference to this particular issue was the third story was called The Super Clown of Metropolis, and the Superboy TV series adapted it and called it The Super Clown of Smallville. Don't know how they come up with these titles. Then we have Action Comics number 263. This again was Kurt Swan and Stan Kay. And then we have the Bizarro cover there. And this particular issue was the first appearance of Bizarro World. And then we have Superman number 137. It was a 3-part tale. Tell you the titles. It was the Super Brat from Krypton, the Young Super Bully, and Superman versus Super Menace. It was written by Jerry Siegel, the art was by Kurt Swan and John Forte for a change. This story was actually reprinted in the 80-page giant number 1 in August 1964, or 64 cover date. It was actually going to be Superman Annual number 9, but for some reason they changed that. It was advertised in some of the comics as the Annual number 9, and the others it was at the 80-page giant number 1. But the reason I bring that up is, in that particular book, it was all about imaginary stories, and this one was in it. So they obviously decided that this didn't work out in continuity. Then we have the last couple of books. Action Comics May cover date number 264. This issue was unusual at the time, as in it was a continued Superman story from the previous issue. As you know, Bizarro was on the front cover of that one, and Bizarro's on the one this one, with our second desk breaking cover. If you think that's wrong, again, let me know in the comments, that'd be brilliant. And in this Supergirl story, Linda gets adopted. They say Supergirl gets adopted, but I always think that she didn't. It was Linda gets adopted. Nobody knew about Supergirl, but she didn't last long. This was an adoption supposedly by Mr. and Mrs. Wilkins, but we only ever saw them once. So as you can guess, the fostering didn't work. And then we have, last but not least, for this half, June, cover date number 265. And there we go. You can see the title of that. That's like the day Supergirl revealed herself. It's hardly a title they would be able to use nowadays, I wouldn't think. And also, in this particular action, it's the first time she was in both stories in the Action Comics. Again, if you don't count issue 260. But that is it for part 1. I will be back with part 2. Again, please like and subscribe. Any messages, please leave in the comments. I do reply to all comments, whether they're good, bad or indifferent. It'd just be nice to hear from you. Thank you for watching.